Yes, good morning once again. Now today we are handling practical 14, which is all about a recap of some of the tools we've dealt with in the previous practicals. Find and replace the header footer variations, page breaks, and paragraph spacing. So the first thing you'll be told to do is to open a new blank document. So for you to open a new blank document, you go to start at the left bottom corner, you click, then you type Word. Then once the Word app installed in your computer pops up, you click to open it. Once it opens, you select the blank document. You click on the blank document. Are we together? Having done that, number 2, you'll be told type the following paragraph 3 times. Use copy paste, isn't it? You type it three times. So the first thing I will do, of course, I will just copy it. I will don't have to type it. With you, you'll have to type it because you don't have this program I'm using here. Are we together? So I copy. Then I go to my Word document, then I paste. Are we together? Ctrl+V to paste. That is a shortcut for pasting. Of course, I left the full stop. Now, once I've pasted this paragraph, with you, you'll have to type it, okay? Yes. I come and select the entire paragraph, then I format it. Before you copy and paste a paragraph, you have to format it, isn't it? And when we are formatting this paragraph, you can see the only major issue here is the italics, isn't it? So we go under Home, then Text Formatting Tools, then we click on Italics, isn't it? Maybe if you wanted to work with Times New Roman as a font style, you click on Times New Roman. Font size 12 is ideal for any professional document, isn't it? Now, when it is still highlighted, you now copy it. You copy a paragraph which has already been formatted is when you paste. Are we together? You've been told to paste it 3 times. So when it is blinking at the end there, you've unselected it there. You press Enter to move to the next line. Ctrl+V to paste. Are you seeing that? Yes. You press Enter, it is in the next line. Ctrl+V to paste. Because you've been told to paste it 3 times. Are we together? So we have carried out number 2. Number 3, you'll be told to use find and replace to replace all occurrences of fox with wolf. And you can see wolf has been bolded, isn't it? Yes. So for you to use the find and replace tool, it is still under Home. Then the second last column, we have the find, replace, select, and all that, isn't it? You click on the replace. When you click on the replace, then it will come with a dialog box for both what you are finding and what you are replacing it with. Are we together? Yes. Click on replace. Then you can see under replace, we want to replace the word fox. You type fox, then you press tab key to move to the next, isn't it? Yes. With the word what? Wolf. Are we together? Yes. And you can see this wolf was bolded. So you highlight the whole of it, then Ctrl+B to bold like that. When you press Ctrl+B, you bold because it is in the dialog box. So you can see the font has been bolded. So you replace all. You click on replace, replace all. Fox has been replaced with the word wolf. Are we together? Yes. Having done that, we move to number 4. Replace all occurrences of dog with bear. So we now go again on the under Home. Under find and replace, we click on replace. Where there is fox, we are finding now dog. You just type dog, isn't it? Yeah. Press tab key to go to the next one. We are replacing dog with bear. Bear. So after doing that, you can see the font for replace is bolded because the bear here is bolded, isn't it? Yes. So for you to bold this, it is Ctrl+B, which already we've done when we were dealing with the wolf and fox, isn't it? Yes. So you just replace all. Then it is telling you all done. We've made 6 replacements. Okay. Then you can close that. Can you check? The word dog has been replaced with the word bear 6 times, isn't it? Very good. Having done that, we now move to number 5. Insert a page break after the first paragraph. So you go back. The first paragraph is ending there. You click the end of the first paragraph, isn't it? Once you click the end of the first paragraph, are you seeing it is blinking there? Once it is blinking there, you go to insert, then you click on page break. Are you now seeing paragraph 2 and 3 have been moved to the next page? And the end of paragraph 1 has been left on page 1. Are we together? Yes. Having done that, the next thing you've been told to do on number 6, on page 2, set paragraph spacing to 12 points before and 6 points after for all paragraphs, isn't it? So on page 2, we move to page 2. This is page 1. We scroll to page 2, or you can use a scroll bar. This is the page 2, isn't it? Yes. For when you want to do that spacing for all paragraphs, you have to select all paragraphs on page 2. So page 2 paragraph starting from here. When it changes to that eye like symbol you hold, then you move until you select all the paragraphs on page 2, isn't it? Then you go under Home. Then under Home, these are the paragraph formatting tools, isn't it? Then you press the icon for lines and paragraph spacing. Are we together? Yes. Then you click on line spacing option. Then under paragraph spacing. Before you've been told 12, you can click this until it moves to 12, isn't it? After you've been told to 6, you can reduce, or you can backspace everything and you type manually. 12, you backspace everything and you type manually, isn't it? Press OK. Have you seen the spacing has changed? Are we together? If you go back to check, you can see before it's 12 points, after it's 6 points. You close the dialog box. We've dealt with the number. We've dealt with the number 6, isn't it? Yeah. We now move to number 7. In number 7, we've been told, insert a different page header on page 1. And that different page header on page 1, introduction, isn't it? And on page 2 onwards, main content. Are we together? Yes. So it means page 2 onwards is what you insert its header first. Then page 1, you will have to differentiate the first page is when you insert its header. Are we together? So we have to insert main content. For page 2 onwards is to be inserted first. Are we together? Yes. So for you to get the header, you simply go to insert. Where you see header and footers, you go under header, isn't it? Then under header, you click edit header. Are you seeing the edit header? It has told you what do you want to enter in that particular header, isn't it? Tuko pamoja? Yes. And we said you start by typing the header of page 2 onwards, which was main content, isn't it? So another way, when you want to get back to the document, you double click inside. You are out of the header. Are we together? Even when you wanted to insert in page 1, the header in page 1 or page 2, it will be main content for all the pages, isn't it? Because we've not yet differentiated the first page. So you double click where the header is. That is a different way of getting to the header, isn't it? Then you type main content. That is text entry, text editing, you remove the mistakes, isn't it? Then text formatting, you have now to select the entire text main content, isn't it? Go to home, the first thing you've seen, it has been italicized. The next thing, each case has been capitalized. So you see M and C has been capitalized and it has been italicized, slanting, isn't it? So when you check, you can see main content is appearing in all the pages, isn't it? Yes. But page 1, you are told to write introduction. Are we together? Yes. So for you to write introduction on page 1, you differentiate the first page because when the header is still on, there's a new column for header and footer. You click on it. Are we together? Yes. Then you go to this column where we have options. Then you check in differentiate first page. Have you seen the first page has been removed for you to enter something different or leave it blank, isn't it? Yes. So that first page we want to write introduction. Once you've written it, you edit it if this case is the error, then you select it and you do the text formatting. And the major format there is it has been italicized, isn't it? Yes. Are we together? Then you double click inside the document to get out of there. So you can see page 1 is introduction, page 2 onwards will be main content going onwards. Are we together? Yes. Very good. Page 1 is different from page 2 onwards, meaning when you want to do anything on page 1, you go to the header and footer of page 1 because there was a page break. Are we together? When you want to do anything on page 2 onwards, you go to the header or footer of page 2, whatever case you want to deal with. Are we together? Then you move on number 8, isn't it? Number 8, you've been told insert page numbers in the footer, but restart numbering at page 1 on page 2. Are we together? Yes. So it means we go to page 2 because there was a page break. What we are doing in page 2 will only affect page 1 in terms of numbering, but the entry in page 2 will not be entered in page 1 because page 1 is different from the rest of the pages. Are we together? Yes. So we double click the footer of page 2 to get the footer of page 2. Then after double clicking, you can see the header and footer column has popped up, isn't it? Then we go under page numbering. Are we together? Yes. Then under page numbering, bottom of the page is the footer. Then in the footer, do we want it on the left or in the center or on the right, isn't it? Maybe I want it in the center. Have you seen it has been numbered on the center? Yes. But it is starting at number 2, but we've been told it is supposed to start at number 1. Are we together? Yes. So to make it start at number 1, you still go under page numbering, then you do what is called format page numbers. You click format page numbers. Are we together? And the page numbering is 1, 2, 3 as we've done. Then you come and check in start at. Now instead of starting at 1, because when page 2 is starting at 2, meaning number 1, page 1 which was differentiated is the one assigned number 1, isn't it? Yes. So it means you start at 0. So that page 1 is assigned number 0, page 2 will be number 1, odd ones. When you click OK, you can now see page 1 is not having a value because there was a page break. It is also differentiated from the rest of the pages, isn't it? Yes. When you move to page 2, are you seeing it is now number 1? Yes. And page 2, we've been told it is not just 1, you format it. You format it by typing that word which was there. It was to be written page 1. So you type that manually, page manual, isn't it? Yes. So after that, you select the whole of it, you go to home, then under home, you go to change case, then lowercase. Are we together? After that, then when you click inside, you can now see Page 2 is now starting from page 1. Even when I go back to insert again, insert a blank page, meaning page 3 has been added, which will now be labeled page 2, because page 1 does not have page numbering. Are we together? Yes. Very good. Now, the last thing you've been told to do is to save as practical_14_YourName, the same format we've been using for the rest of the practicals, isn't it? We go under Files, then we go Save As, we browse the location, it was on a desktop, isn't it? Then these are the folders on the desktop. We search for ICT, Pracs, we double click to open it. You can click on any practical previously saved there. Then this 6, we come, we edit it with 14. Remember, renaming this file tab, putting underscore and all that, we've explained that in the rest of the practicals. Are we together? Yes. That is there. After that, you don't add the .docs because the Word document here has taken care of that. It will be added automatically. You just press save to save. But when you are using when you don't have an interrupted power supply, like in the case of desktop, always do the saving first. Are we together? Yes. Then you save subsequently as you continue working on your practical. Are we together? Yes. That is the end of practical 14. It is the end of word processing. I will now expect you to be in a position to produce any professional document. Thank you.